Congratulations to Chelsea Gray and Rose BC on winning the first ever Unrivaled championship. I single out Chelsea Gray because she was kind of the story as the season wound down and as the championship was won. Of course, winning the MVP of the finals and really played well down the stretch of the season at Unrivaled. And for all the talk about Chelsea Gray being the point guard, it was her scoring that really got it done. Not that modern point guards don't score. Trust me, most of the great modern point guards score the ball. I'm just pointing that out because that was the difference for her, was her ability to get her own shot and hit some of those tough jumpers in the mid range and other things like that. And after they won the championship, I understood where Chelsea Gray was coming from when she made her comments on the podium, because she was asked, how to sum up essentially the win and herself. And it took her a second to actually respond. Here's what Chelsea Gray said to that.
Early in the season, we talked about the fact that you had heard the chatter. You knew the importance of these performances. What do you want people to say about Chelsea Gray now?
Ooh, man. I know, right?
They're telling her not to be humble over here on the stage. I don't know if y'all can tell.
Keep that same energy, is what I'm saying. When y'all see me that same summer, I got the receipts who's talking shit, so keep that same energy.
So a good response from Chelsea Gray there. I get it. I feel it. I understand it. First of all, she was being classy, right? Like she wasn't trying to go there. She was kind of baited into going there, and keep that same energy. If you think about it, and regardless of what was correct or what wasn't correct, a lot has been said about Chelsea Gray, including for me, right? Including for me, where I thought at times she was slow on defense. I certainly thought she was the player that shouldn't have been on the Olympic team in favor of Caitlin Clark at the time, because she had just come back from injury. Obviously, Chelsea Gray dealt with injury in playing through the last WNBA season, and sometimes we're not forgiving enough for when somebody is competing through injury. So hence the keep the same energy and the receipts. So she probably, she's a champion. She's accomplished. She sees what people are saying, and she takes it to heart. And I get that, and I understand that. And then I think part of it also, in the case of what fans have said, there's been this sort of push to put her against Clark at times because they play point guard. And somebody would throw out, like when Alyssa Smith said, is Chelsea Gray the best passer in the league, or the point guard nickname, or Angel Reese saying the other day MVPG, whatever. Chelsea Gray got nothing to do with that. And really, that's just sports talk and banter. But with the amount of fans that are activated in such discussions, sometimes people will go too far in putting one down to boost up the other. And Chelsea Gray probably felt there wasn't enough respect put on her name from people who did just show up to watch, the WNBA game and her game. So hopefully she has a bounce back season in the W this year, and a lot of that translates from Unrivaled. But I thought it was worth, giving her props, because I understand where she was coming from. Here's how she looked like in the game itself, as Rose defeats Vinyl to win the championship, powered by Chelsea Gray. I'll point out some of what I'm talking about here. As far as there's the pull-up, a lot of scoring from Gray. And Unrivaled, obviously the floor is open 3-on-3. There's one of her fancy passes. I feel like her passes are more noteworthy for how saucy they are than necessarily like how consistent. But that was a really nice pass there too, just a straight court vision pass. So, and the torque on that, maybe I was talking out my what. Those are some great passes right there from Chelsea Gray. And here she goes on the attack to the right. My point, I guess what I was trying to make is she makes very saucy passes at times. There's a good ball fake and gets to the basket. Using her strength and her leverage, just a good outlet pass there. That's just a fundamental great pass. Over to the left, nice pocket pass. Yeah, I mean, those are basic great passes, great point guard passes from Gray there. but her scoring is what stood out over the course of the season at Unrivaled, which was kind of what I was trying to get at. But anyway, here she goes to the left, step back, Cash Money. They interviewed Asia Wilson in the middle of the fourth quarter of a championship game to the right. Not saying they shouldn't have interviewed Asia, but the timing felt a little off to me. Then the pull up going to the left. And look, Chelsea Gray was great. There's no other way to put it. Vinyl made some weird coaching decisions because as much as the Fever players did not play well in the course of Unrivaled, and they certainly didn't. Caitlin Clark joked about one of them about to come back angry and one happy. Aaliyah Boston actually played well in this game, and she wasn't on the floor down the stretch of the game, which I thought was a confusing decision by Teresa Weatherspoon, the coach of Vinyl. Because as you can see here, Boston made a couple solid plays in this game. There she recovers, gets over for the block. And it was on the defense. I mean, she scored too early in the game, but she made several nice help blocks like that one right there. And I just don't understand why she wasn't on the floor down the stretch in this particular game. I'm not talking about her body of work over the course of the season, because I don't think her or Lexi Hull particularly stood out at Unrivaled, but Boston was standing out in this one. It's another look. Boom. Gets over there, right? That's just good fundamental defense. Helping on one side, recovering to the other side, making the block. So that had me scratching my head a little bit for Vinyl, who did not shoot the ball down the stretch of the game. Nonetheless, Unrivaled wraps up a first season, a mixed bag, I think. Obviously, I think it's a good idea, a good purpose. There was definitely some good stuff in there. There's certainly some things to work out. You want to make sure you keep people's interest beyond the beginning of the season. You want to have plans for injuries. Maybe they could truncate the season a little bit. The one-on-one thing was a success, but certainly don't begrudge what they got going on there, and certainly want to salute those who got it done. And congratulations to Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart as well. I mean, it's hard to just do that. It's hard to just launch. People just can crap on it or whatever. It's hard to launch something from scratch like that and get all the backing and do everything they need to get it done. And not to mention the extra $50K that all the winners are getting. So kudos to them for getting a full season in. I think there is work to be done to make Unrivaled better going forward and to leave a lasting impression.